The wide grip pull-up is a great full upper body exercise for runners. It involves a lot of coordination and is a great pull exercise that really works some very running specific muscles. So in terms of what we're gonna be working here, you're gonna be working biceps, which are great when you're running. You've got your biceps at 90 degrees, and so they get a little bit of work for the entirety of your run. The faster you run, the farther you run, you've probably felt your biceps will get a little bit sore. So by working biceps with your pull-ups, it's gonna help a lot with fatigue towards the end of your runs. The other thing that pull-ups do a great job of working is your lats and kind of everything on the posterior side of your back. So the big reason why that's so important as runners is as we fatigue, we tend to want to slouch forwards. When we slouch forwards, it compresses our lungs, it makes it a lot harder to breathe. So by strengthening up all those muscles on our posterior, it's gonna make us stand up taller, keep our shoulders back, it's gonna open up our chest, and we're gonna be able to run a little bit more efficiently. The more you work on this, the more kind of fatigue resistant those muscles will get as you train. And then when you're out there, when you're running, you're gonna be more fatigue resistant, you're gonna breathe better, and you're gonna be a more efficient runner. Let's take a look at how to do it. To set up for a pull-up, you're gonna need a pull-up bar, a squat rack, or any sturdy object that's above your head off the ground. Depending on how tall you are, you're gonna need a different height of bar. For me personally, this squat rack is quite low. I can start from this point. So when I'm starting my pull-up, I'm gonna need to bend my knees to lower myself all the way down to the ground. Whatever it is that you're using, you wanna make sure for the wide grip pull-up that you can get a little bit wider than shoulder width. So for me, I'm gonna be using the full width of the bar here. And then all you need from here is to get started doing the exercise. There's a few things to keep in mind when you're doing your pull-ups. The first of those is around the physiology of muscles. And so with a muscle, the longer the length of that muscle, the weaker it is. That's what makes the pull-up so difficult. When you're in your starting position, your muscles are all at their absolute longest length. So I'm starting with my arms as wide as I can go on this bar here. When I'm in this position here with my arms straight, my biceps are stretched all the way out, my lats are stretched all the way out. So those muscles have very little overlap of the muscle fibers within them, so they're a little bit weaker. So the most difficult part of that pull-up is that very part where you're getting started. The closer you get to the bar, the higher up you lift yourself, the easier it's gonna be. So just keep that in mind that when you get started, it's gonna be really difficult. As you lift yourself, it's gonna get a little bit easier. So to set yourself up on the bar, like I said, you wanna have your arms as wide as you can. And then you're gonna start in this position down here as low as you possibly can with your arms extended all the way out. From here, you're gonna think about bending your elbows. And I like to think about bending my elbows and squeezing with my lats, kind of squeezing between my shoulder blades, and I'm lifting my chin up towards the bar. The one thing you want to avoid is reaching with your neck or sticking your neck forwards. You want to try and keep that as neutral as possible. So from this position here, I'm squeezing with my lats, squeezing with my elbows, and then bringing myself up to the bar, and then lowering myself back down. You want to be nice and controlled on the way down, and you want to be nice and controlled on the way up. I'm a little bit limited by ceiling height here, so I can't get my chin all the way over the bar. If you have a bit more space, you can absolutely bring your chin all the way up to the bar. To adjust the difficulty of your pull-up, you can either add or subtract body weight, because really it's your body weight that you're lifting in this type of an exercise. So to increase the difficulty, you can take a weight plate and use a belt or a strap around your waist, add some extra weight that way. On the other side of things, if you want to make the pull-up a little bit easier, you can use a resistance band. So the way you're going to do that is you take your band and you're going to just loop it over top of the bar. So you bring it up over the top, open up a loop, and pass the lower part of that band all the way through. So you're going to pull that till it's nice and tight, and then essentially the band is going to hook around your knee and it's going to help assist you on the way up. So the stronger the band you use, the easier that movement is gonna be. So what you do here is you get yourself set up just like with that regular pull-up, except you're gonna take this band, you're gonna stretch it down, and you're gonna hook your knee into it. Be really careful when you hook this up here. If you lift your knee up too much, that band's gonna slip off and hit you in the face. So you wanna make sure that that knee stays down as much as possible. From here, you're gonna set yourself up just like normal, and then I like to kind of hook my foot over the other foot at the back here. From this position, I can lift myself up and lower again. So this makes it much easier. And the really nice thing with using a band in this direction is because the more the band stretches, the more assistance it applies. Like I was mentioning earlier, when you're in that fully extended out position, that's when you're at your weakest. So using a band like this, the band helps you out the most when you need it. And then the higher you lift, the band gives you less and less assistance. The other option you have instead of doing a wide grip pull-up is to do a lat pull down. So you can use a lat pull down machine. It's exactly the same motion, just instead of pulling your weight up to the bar, you're fixed in place and you're pulling a weight down towards you. The one nice thing with a lat pull down machine is you can go considerably lighter. If you're not quite as strong, if you're not able to lift your body weight, or if you don't have access to bands, doing a lat pull down is a great way to kind of modulate the intensity, make it a little bit easier. The other thing that's really nice with it is you can make very fine adjustments with how much weight you're lifting. Obviously with your body weight is fairly fixed, and if you need to use bands, that resistance you're using is gonna change as you're doing that exercise. So by using a lat pull down machine, you can kind of get a little bit more accurate in terms of exactly how much weight you're lifting with every rep.